Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Susan Aitken is claiming that she's being hounded by her political opponents because her expenses have increased quite significantly. Seems reasonable to me. If your expenses suddenly increase, people would want to know why. And they have increased quite a lot, particularly transport. And we've already mentioned before how thousands, we're talking £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 on car journeys in and around Glasgow. For a woman who lives in Glasgow and who could use public transport or her bike. She wants to encourage people onto bikes. Although given what Susan looks like, I don't think she's ever been on a bike in her life. However, there she goes. She gets all these driven around transport costs because she can't drive. How on earth is she making decisions on drivers in Glasgow when she doesn't have a car and can't drive? Seems very hypocritical. Now that's the first of the problems. The second of the problem is I frankly don't believe her excuse. And I don't think you, good viewer, will believe her excuse either. Now, she is saying that these attacks on her because of these increased expenses are misogynistic. They are anti-women. They are because of who she is. Also because of her politics. Well, yeah, that's the world of politics, love. And things like that. Now, I don't believe that it is because of misogynism. I don't believe that they're attacking you for your expenses because you're a woman. I think they're attacking you for your expenses because you're spending so much on travel. Either, I would suggest, learn to drive or use public transport. Or, as you keep encouraging others to do, go and buy that bike. Let's face it, if you did buy a bike and started using it, it wouldn't have to do you a lot of good. Now, why has she taken to using transport like this all of a sudden? And this is where her argument breaks down. You see, Susan Aitken is claiming that she felt unsafe because she had a stalker. Can I please refer you to the thumbnail of this video? Now, I don't believe Susan Aitken has had a stalker. I really don't believe that. I believe that she's just got into the habit of using cars and is trying to invent an excuse and going, oh, look, I've got a stalker. Oh, and anyone who complains, it's misogynism. And look, they're not caring for the safety of women. And I think, no, Susan. It's completely unbelievable. It really, really is completely unbelievable that you have a stalker. I think you've just got lazy, got fat because you're lazy, and are now too large and unfit to be able to travel via your own power. And of course, public transport is beneath you because you might meet normal people who might remonstrate with you, ask you questions, ask you why the money is being wasted, ask you why you keep flying around the world for no reason whatsoever. And of course, the last thing you want to do is spend any time at all with normal people, and you certainly don't want to asking questions. Susan Aitken, I think you need to come clean. You need to tell people the real reason. Because one only has to look at the money that has been spent on you over the last few years. Several international trips to places where you have no business being, but decided that, hey, it would be nice if I went. And in order to feel important, I must have a little entourage. And all of that's got to be paid. And we can't fly cattle class. We must fly up the pointy end, first class or business class. And when we get there, we can't stay in any kind of budget hotel. It's got to be a 5-star hotel with hot and cold running maids. And so the bills increase. And then even when you're not going abroad, you're buying lampposts for people, or you're spending thousands on cars, thousands on travel around the town. Or you're spending money on internal decorations. And of course, this is all coming on top of the fact that you're about to get a pay rise that will mean that the people of Glasgow, through their council tax, will be paying you more money as a salary than Rishi Sunak gets. And he, of course, is the Prime Minister of Great Britain. What makes you think in your mind that you are more important than Rishi Sunak? He has his finger on the nuclear button. You have your fingers on a Greggs sausage roll. Or several Greggs sausage rolls, usually. And of course, not only on top of this is it the salary that's increasing, it's all the other things. For example, the cost in terms of national insurance that the employer has to pay, that goes up. The cost of the pension, that goes up. And of course, that pension's for life, and it's nicely golden, isn't it? It's a nice index-linked pension that's increasing massively. All these costs that won't stop even after you are voted out. You're a greedy, greedy woman in every aspect of your being. And now you have the sheer effrontery to lie to people, to try to cover up the greed of travelling at public expense because you can't be bothered to walk, by claiming that there is someone out there mad enough to want to stalk you. Maybe his guide dog does, dragging him along, smelling the sausage rolls wafting off you, and it's the guide dog that's making him follow you. He's probably got no choice in it. The old slobber coming down the dog. That's what it is, isn't it, Susan? Because no one with eyes is going to be stalking you. Unless they're mental. The only people who are after you are restaurateurs who want to encourage you to go and eat in their premises because they know they're going to make an absolute bloody fortune. So don't come the cod. Don't lie to people. Don't tell people that it's misogynism when people are moaning at you for spending taxpayers' money left, right and centre. It isn't misogynism. It's people fed up with greedy people like you taking the piss financially when times are hard, when council tax is a huge burden and you are cutting services left, right and centre, but not cutting your own salaries, not cutting your own perks, and certainly not cutting your own international travel. And don't lie about stalkers. I'll finish now, but I'm very angry about it. Just to remind you all, this is someone who claims she has a stalker. I don't think so either. Bye.